Here we are, 200 days into the Trump presidency, and the world has not yet caught fire, as many would like for you to believe that it was going to. Democrats and liberals have struggled since the 2016 election to cope with the fact that Donald J. Trump and the Republicans handed them a stunning loss. Everybody who thought Hillary Clinton was a shoo-in, myself included. It's been entertaining, to say the least, to watch them jump and run around like chickens with their heads cut off, not knowing how to cope with the fact that they were just a divisive group and they ran a very bad candidate. They are infatuated with the belief that they are fighting a resistance and have completely bought into that fake reality. I'm Alexander T. Roll, and this is Patriot AWOL. So I'm going to attempt to try to explain to many of the people out there who have not yet comprehended why the Democrats have lost so badly. I think it's one of two major issues. First and foremost, Democrats are divisive. About 35% of Democrats and Democratic leaders say that if a friend had voted for Trump, it would put a strain on the relationship. A smaller share of Republicans and Republican leaners, 13%, say the same about learning a friend if they had voted for Clinton. So what does that tell you? That if you have a friend who's a Democrat and they disagree with your opinion, they are most likely going to unfriend you, no longer be your friend, or just downright hate you. I'm not going to put any words in anyone's mouth, but the possibility lies. We can't deny the fact that Democrats are a divisive group. When you try to categorize people and play into identity politics, it becomes a big rush to see who the biggest victim is. And the only spectrum that I kind of understand is the spectrum of victimhood. If you are a black, female, lesbian, you probably have a lot more privilege than, let's say, a regular black male or anyone else who of any other minority. You just got to look at stuff happening in the news recently. Kat Von D, she disqualified a contestant of hers that won something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she disqualified her for posting some pro-Trump stuff on her own social media page. And that just kind of goes to show you that, that's a perfect example of that. The 35% of Democrats no longer speaking to people is a poll that I'm referencing from Pew Research. Think about the term flyover states. They don't care about anyone who's really in the middle states, especially if you don't vote their way. And like I said, identity politics has categorized everyone into a certain group. We see, already friction in between it by Black Lives Matter blocking a gay parade. I don't exactly remember where it happened. And also, I think it's that same parade had also kicked out a bunch of pro-Israel gay folks because they were flying the Israeli flag, or it had the Star of David on it. So there's no denying it that, Democrats are a divisive group, and research shows as much. And Republicans are a little bit more forthcoming about someone else and contrary opinions. And I think it's because that a lot of conservative and Republicans don't mind having conversations, about stuff like that. They kind of enjoy it. A lot of my experiences of meeting a lot of conservative and Republicans. But that's only a fraction of the reason why Donald J. Trump won and handed the Democrats such a sound victory. The second has to do, which I think most importantly, is that the Democrats chose to run a very toxic candidate. Hillary Clinton was not liked even by people within the Democratic Party. And it seemed that after, word got out that Bernie Sanders was colluded against with the DNC and Hillary, that the Democrats had lost a lot of the Bernie bots, and I think that kind of killed them because a lot of people, chose not to vote at all after finding that out. So I'm going to go through a couple of the things why Hillary was such a bad candidate, because believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there that still like her and still support her. After knowing all the stuff that I learned about her, I don't see how people could. You have to be almost for corruption. First and foremost, Miss Clinton, she had an improper relationship with a lot of the media. During the campaign itself, during one of the debates, Donna Brazier, who was a DNC advisor and also a CNN contributor, had got caught red-handed providing Hillary Clinton with the questions that were going to be asked during the debate, kind of giving her an unfair advantage, especially so they can single out and be prepared for questions that they weren't going to like, or didn't have much knowledge on the subject of. WikiLeaks also exposed emails of Hillary praising the New York Times for kind of boasting certain stories and slanting certain things in her favor, and help pushing their talking points. Two, the State Department paid special attention to what they called Friends of Bill. In 2010, Haiti had a very bad earthquake. I know some people remember that. And the State Department put a lot of focus on people who were Clinton donors and what they called Friends of Bill. And they would focus those relief funds to them, specifically. She purposefully intimidated her husband's rape accusers. Now, I don't understand how someone who can be pro-feminist and believe in, women's rights and everything would support a candidate who would actively attack rape victims, especially ones of her own husband. Juanita Broderick, she said that, if I recall correctly, she did an interview with Breitbart, and she came out saying that, Hillary Clinton had grabbed her by the arm and said, "Do you know what this means?" or something to that effect, kind of intimidating her not to say anything. She was raped in 1978 by Bill Clinton, allegedly. And there's a string of other people who were accusers of Bill who she actually attacked, and some of them public. Jennifer Flowers, she called her a failed cabaret singer. Monica Lewinsky was called a narcissistic Looney Tune by Hillary Clinton. Kathleen Wiley, whom not many people know, Bill supposedly fondled her, and she claims that she was harassed by the Clintons after she came out and spoke out against it. Paula Jones said the Clintons tried to send people out to dig trash up on her, and that sounds like it's probably to prepare for a case, if you ask me my personal opinion, so that they would try to, throw dirt on her credibility. Not only that, but the simple fact that she deleted 33,000 emails after she was told to turn them over. And I'm not talking about just simply deleting them on accident, but I'm talking about like a complete wipe of the server and the hard drive. That you have to go to an extensive length to go ahead and do that. And there would be no other reason to do that, aside from trying to hide something. Also, thanks to the Obama to Trump voter that turned out in Michigan, places that Hillary Clinton did not go ahead and campaign at, she kind of completely, disregarded them. A sizable chunk of the Obama to Trump voters, 30%, said that their vote for Trump was more a vote against Clinton than a vote for Trump. Remember, these voters backed Obama 4 years earlier. They voted him in 2 terms. So it's not that, all these racists started coming out of the woodwork to go for Donald Trump. These people existed and they voted Obama twice. Now, why do you think that they went from blue to red in such a short time? Do you think it's because in the last 8 years, the Democratic Party went ahead and singled them out? You can't look at a lot of these leftist articles and not find something about them attacking white males or attacking masculinity, or fragile masculinity as it's called. So I think those two things put together, the divisive demeanor of being a Democrat and liberal, and the fact that they put out such a horrible candidate, worked against them. And it wasn't so much, like it said, was not so much a vote for Trump, but it was more a vote against Hillary Clinton. And I don't blame people who seen that as that way. They probably didn't like Trump, but they still voted for him because they thought that Hillary Clinton was going to be a lot worse candidate. The uneducated white male was at one point the Democratic base. And it seems that they kind of turned away from that, and they were hoping that the minority and the women vote would have pushed them enough to the White House, but it seemed as if the black vote didn't turn out for Hillary as much as they did for Obama, which they were hoping they would. And you kind of seen the last days of the campaign, her pandering to black folks, coming out with Beyonce and Jay-Z and thinking that that's all it's going to take to buy people's votes. Come on, really? You don't see how they try to pander to you? You're the token black person, you're the token Mexican or whatever person. It seems like they trot out these little, token people for their own benefit to get other people to vote for them. And they actually honestly believe that you're dumb enough to do so. And I kind of learned that, after a while. Like I said, I'm no longer a Democrat. So, well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys later.